When hope fades, there are times in life when all hope seems to fade away. When a young girl named Olivia lost her beloved dog, Pepper, she felt like giving up. It was a small terrier mix who immediately won Olivia's heart with his big brown eyes and wet nose. Olivia and her parents looked for him everywhere, calling his name and shaking his favorite treats. But Pepper was nowhere to be found. The hours turned into days, and the days into weeks, but still there was no sign of the missing dog. She put up posters with his picture on them, knocked on every door in the neighborhood, and talked to everyone she met in the street. As weeks turned into months, Olivia began receiving anonymous letters in the mail. She saved up her allowance and bought a metal detector. Then she went to the places where she and Pepper had played, hoping to find his collar or leash. But all she found were old cans and bottles. Just when she was about to give up, her detector suddenly started beeping. She dug in the dirt and found a small plastic bag. Olivia hugged him tightly, tears streaming down her face. Olivia cautiously approached them and pushed aside the branches. There, hidden beneath some leaves, was a small wooden house. Olivia couldn't believe her eyes. She had never seen the house before, yet it looked strangely familiar. As she stepped closer, she saw a figure sitting on the porch. It was an old woman with twinkling eyes and a kind smile. She looked down at Pepper, who was wagging his tail and licking her hand. They traveled to faraway lands, met mystical creatures, and faced many challenges along the way. But through it all, their bond only grew stronger. Olivia learned that the most ordinary things can hold extraordinary power, and that even in the darkest of times, hope should never fade. She knew he was more than just a dog. He was her friend, her confidant, and her partner in bringing back the magic to the world. She couldn't believe they were finally reunited after all this time. Olivia nodded, still in shock. The old woman gestured to the house. "Come in, child. I have something to tell you." She had found Pepper and discovered a world beyond her wildest dreams. And as she looked into his adoring eyes, she knew that their adventures were just beginning. Then she noticed that Pepper wasn't wearing a collar and wasn't carrying a leash. You see, when Pepper disappeared, he wasn't just taken by an ordinary person. He was taken by a witch who wanted to use his magical abilities for her own evil purposes. That's why you couldn't find him, because the witch had hidden him away. But when you found the bone and brought it back here, you reminded Pepper of his powers. He broke free from the witch's grasp and came back to you. You are both powerful, Olivia, and together you can bring back the magic to this world. The old woman sat opposite her and began speaking in a gentle voice. Long ago, this forest was filled with magic. That's why you felt a connection to this place and to Pepper. When he disappeared, your heart led you here, but you couldn't see the house because the magic was fading. However, now that you've found Pepper and returned here, the magic is returning. Where had he been all this time? Who had taken care of him? Inside was a bone with Pepper's name carved on it. It was a long shot, but Olivia decided to follow her instincts and bury the bone in the backyard. They contained clues about where Pepper might be. Things like he is by the river, wearing a blue collar, or he is with a family who loves him very much. Olivia followed these leads, but none of them panned out. She thought about the Whispering Pines, a group of trees at the edge of town that were said to be haunted. No one dared go near them, especially at night. Olivia was desperate to find Pepper, so she decided to take the risk. Still, she couldn't help feeling that someone was trying to help her find her dog. Sometimes she thought she heard barking in the distance and ran towards it, only to be disappointed. Every night before going to bed, Olivia cried herself to sleep, dreaming of the day when she would be reunited with Pepper. At first, she found nothing but rocks and roots. But then her shovel hit something hard. She brushed off the dirt and saw a metal box. Inside was a rolled-up piece of paper. Olivia unrolled it and read the message inside. The wind was howling, and the branches creaked ominously above her head. Suddenly, she heard a noise in the bushes. She froze, her heart pounding in her chest. Then a small terrier ran out, barking excitedly. Could it be? Olivia couldn't believe her eyes. It was Pepper. He was alive. If you're looking for Pepper, come to the old mill at midnight, signed the Whispering Pines. From the moment she cradled him in her arms, she knew they were going to be best friends forever. Olivia took care of Pepper every day, played with him, walked him, and fed him. And he was always by her side when she needed him. She searched for him everywhere, but the little terrier had vanished without a trace. But something kept telling Olivia that she couldn't stop searching for her four-legged friend. And so she went out into the world determined to find him. What she didn't realize was that there were forces at work that had an even greater plan for her. Forces that would change her life forever. The day that Pepper disappeared was one of the happiest days in Olivia's life. It was the day her parents gave her a puppy. But one day, while playing fetch in the park, Pepper suddenly ran away from home and never came back. One evening, Olivia's mom and dad sat her down and told her it was time to accept the fact that Pepper was gone. He might have been kidnapped, taken by another animal, or simply lost his way. They tried to comfort her, saying that it was for the best because she would soon start school and wouldn't have enough time to take care of a dog. But Olivia refused to give up hope. She knew in her heart that Pepper was still out there somewhere and she would never stop looking for him. So every morning before school and every afternoon after class, she went out into the streets to search for her beloved pet. But then something strange happened. Determined to solve the mystery, Olivia decided to take matters into her own hands. The next day, she went back to the spot with a shovel and began digging. Olivia didn't know what to make of the message. Was it a prank? Or could it lead her to Pepper? That night, just as the clock struck midnight, Olivia crept towards the whispering pines. She knelt down and held out her arms, and Pepper leaped into them, licking her face and wagging his tail furiously. As if sensing her thoughts, Pepper barked and looked towards the bushes. "Hello," Olivia said hesitantly. The old woman looked up and smiled. "You found Pepper?" she asked. Olivia entered the house and sat down on a chair. Olivia was astounded. Could there really be magic in the woods? The old woman nodded. "Yes, and you are part of it." Olivia couldn't believe what she was hearing, but she could sense the truth in the old woman's words. Together, Olivia and Pepper set out on a journey to restore the balance between good and evil. As the sun set over the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, Olivia knew that her life would never be the same again. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe for videos, and share it with friends and families.